Hi, I'm Ryan Alessi, and this is your Politics Around the Bluegrass update for the week of August 25th. Well, it's convention time for Democrats, and that means dozens of Kentuckians are Denver bound. Among those making the trek is Governor Steve Beshear, who is a member of his first delegation since the 1984 National Convention. At that time, they nominated Walter Mondale as their candidate, and he didn't fare well in Kentucky, or most anywhere else for that matter. But Steve Beshear says momentum coming out of this convention could be harnessed even in places like Kentucky that aren't expected to go for the Democrats in November. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I'm looking forward to Democrats getting together, having a good time, and coming out of that convention united for the fall.
You can check for updates from Denver on the Herald-Leader and his political blog, Pol Watchers, all week. Republicans, meanwhile, will have their convention in Minneapolis next week. Now, the big buzz over the weekend was who Barack Obama was going to pick as his vice presidential candidate. That, as you know, turned out to be Delaware Senator Joe Biden, the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. A lot of Kentucky Democrats said that was a good pick because Biden's foreign experience fills in a blank in Barack Obama's resume. But a lot of them had a hard time hiding their disappointment that Hillary Clinton was not picked to be the vice presidential candidate. Clinton, of course, dominated Barack Obama during the spring primary here in Kentucky, where she won by 35 points. And a lot of Democrats said that in order for the Democrats to be competitive in this presidential race in November, that she needed to be on that ticket and get her supporters fired up again. It wasn't to be, and Terry McBrayer, who's a DNC member from Kentucky and a close Clinton ally, said that she may not have even wanted to be on the ticket. The marriage, a forced marriage between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton just may not have worked. So now the Democrats are tasked with trying to harness that enthusiasm with the Obama-Biden ticket, and we'll see how that goes. Finally, last week, the candidates for U.S. Senate went after each other in their first pseudo-debate, which came in one of the more unlikelier places. The Kentucky Farm Bureau Forum is normally reserved for board members to ask candidates agriculture policy-related questions. But in this case, Democratic challenger Bruce Lunsford and Republican U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell spent more time responding to each other than they did questions. Mitch McConnell's argument was clear. Bruce Lunsford may talk a good game, but at the end of the day, he's unable to get the kind of clout that McConnell has. At age 66, McConnell is the Republican Senate leader. And Bruce Lunsford, he noted, turned 61 in November. So if he wins as a freshman Democrat for the next 6 years, it will be unlikely that he'll be able to build up the same type of influence that has enabled McConnell to bring home to Kentucky $500 million in federal funds just last year. Lunsford, meanwhile, fired back, saying that McConnell and President Bush had, quote, failed, unquote, over the last 8 years, and that it's time for a change. Lunsford, now a successful millionaire businessman, also touted his roots growing up on a northern Kentucky tobacco farm, saying that it enabled him to relate more with all Kentuckians. And this might be only the beginning of debates between these two men. Bruce Lunsford said he'd like to take on McConnell every week leading up to the November 4th election. McConnell, though he wouldn't commit to any number, said he likes debating and would agree to allowing more debates than Walter D. Huddleston, the Democratic senator that he beat in 1984, gave him. That number was 1. And that's this week's political update for the Herald-Leader's government team and Pol Watchers blog. I'm Ryan Alessi. Thanks for watching.